So... craziest bar fight?
Welcome to Slayton Aerospace. Can I help you?
3 spacers got the drop on me. Flipped a table.
I'm afraid Mr. Slayton is a very busy man.
Surprisingly effective.
I was on an outpost and then a predator burst in.
There does seem to be a hole in his
Jaws and
schedule.
Fur and spit. Everyone freaked out. 2 shots and I went back to my sandwich.
Nice. But still. Butter knife.
Yeah.
Nice try, but CEOs don't just walk through the door. They make appointments. Maybe I could squeeze you in. Let me see. Oh, I think we can make an exception in your case. Mr. Slayton will see you. Just use the elevator.
Sarah Miss Perfect Morgan. I swear she must have radar.
What the... mean?
Every single time I make a mistake, before I can say, oops.
Wait. This clearly isn't the executive level. He's on to us.
Walter, taking what's mine and then breaking into my office. A bold move, but one easily countered.
Oh, we're trapped.
Hello, Walter, dear, are you there?
Issa?
Sarah Miss
Took
Perfect
longer than
Morgan.
I'd like, but I managed to
Swear
pay
she
off
must
one of
have radar.
Slayton's security consultants.
What
They've
do you
patched
mean?
me in.
Every single time
All
I
right.
make a mistake.
We've got her out.
Before I
Once
can
the
say,
door's open, just
oops,
follow her
she's
instructions,
there,
okay?
and very politely, ever so patiently, telling
I'm
me
aware of
I
the
made a mistake.
irony of me continuing
You know
to
what I
say it'll be
No,
easy.
I do not.
But it'll
Thanks,
be easy.
Andreja. Now I feel
Doors
better.
will open in 3, 2, 1. Slayton's guards and employees are all over. Be careful. Okay. You'll want to use the vent system to slip around unnoticed. There's a cupboard just to the right of the elevator you came in on.
Sam, could you explain it one more time?
Oh my gosh, this again?
I hope it is not annoying. It just
That's
doesn't-
the elevator you came in on. Jump right across the top of it and keep going to the end.
Some of us prefer avoiding a fight than we talk.
Drop down and follow the conduit all the way to the end, past the fork. There's a vent above you. Just climb up.
You know, it is never too early for Cora to learn some basic...
The room below you is clear. Drop down. Stop. One of the doors leads you right into the open. I'm unlocking a safe route. Opening the door on your right. Go now. Head left, but don't go through the door at the end yet. There's a robot stalking the hall. Wait. It's walking down the hall. Go now, straight across to the door. Keep going, all the way to the end. Wait, there's people in the room up ahead. Closing the shutters. Another robot up ahead. Wait for it to pass, then head straight across to the maintenance door next to the security gate. Go now! Let me just get that for you. know the routine. Up the vent. It's a short one, I promise.
Sarah, Miss Perfect Morgan. I swear she must have radar.
What do you mean?
Every single time I make a mistake, before I can say oops, she's there and very politely, ever so patiently, telling me I made a
Almost there. Door on the right. There's the door. It should take you outside.
Outside? You expect us to climb up the trade tower?
There's a series of catwalks that lead directly up one floor to the executive level.
Well, I guess.
This is gonna be fun.
Still got moves.
So, craziest bar fight?
There you
You're coming in just behind the executive elevators. I'll call the one on the far end, and you can walk right over the top.
You know, it's moments like this that really makes Neon the best place to do business. You steal what's mine. I trap you in the city. You infiltrate my office. I lock it down. Where else can you match wits for the highest stakes but here? You have what's mine. I, indirectly, have what's yours. We are at a stalemate. Although, I do count a few more guns on my side. I do admit, having the co-CEO of Stroud Eklund in my office is quite the opportunity.
How are your quarterlies looking, Nicholas? Perhaps we can add Slayton Aerospace to our supply chain. Provided this unpleasantness was behind us.
Yes, I think that could be a most beneficial exchange. There is just the small matter of paying for the humiliation. Mr. Musgrove, my former employee, and the thief responsible for our serendipitous meeting, was caught prior to your arrival. I think it would cement our new partnership if you were to decide on his sentence yourselves. If you wish, you will have the opportunity to tell him yourself, shortly.
If you got a bad guy, even a little bitty bad guy, usually you bring them in. Your call, though.
My security brought Musgrove to my office. I'm sure seeing you again will be a fine conclusion to your previous business.
We have an opportunity to spare a man's life. I know he probably wouldn't do the same for us, but that shouldn't matter.
Oh no. You. Slayton really does have a sick sense of humor. "10 years working in aerospace engineering, and they laid me off. You damn right I stole that thing. They tell you if you have talent and commitment, you can go far. But the truth is, it's all about who steals the most and gets away with it. Please, I was just trying to sell a product, okay? Isn't that why we're all here?"
Be lenient. We were taking advantage of his initiative, after all, even if we have found ourselves working with the man he stole from.
Justice for some, huh? Fine. Rather be caged than dead.
You knew the risks, so don't act like a martyr, pal.
I will make the arrangements for Neon Security to take him into custody. You're free to leave.
Time to go. Let's talk more back at the ship.
I agree. This,
For Neon City.
all in all, a great success. Thank you for allowing me to tag along with Constellation's newest star. Yes, I used a pun. Forgive me. Say your last goodbyes.
Galaxy's hard for address. I know. Stop by sometime. Let's talk. Just us Benjamins. Okay?
We're in orbit. What next?
You hold something you have no right to. My people have killed for less. But I will offer you one chance to hand over the artifact and turn away from this path.
Oh, that's not any type of ship I recognize.
The fact that you do not know says much. We are the Starborn, and you are unworthy to possess the artifacts.
Starborn, huh? Humans are worthy. We're worthy. Tell us, please. What are the artifacts? What are they for? Did you make them? What gives you more right to them than humanity?
Answering your questions is exactly what we cannot allow. Abandon your thirst for knowledge, or drown in it. The more you understand, the more damage you will do.
How could just knowing what you are be dangerous?
Our distance from you is the whole point. We interfere now because we must.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing on the scans. Energy output from that ship is far above the normal range. If we spin up the grav drive now, we have a chance. We'll get through this. Hold on.
All hands on deck for this. The universe has got a little crazier. Deeper.
So, you gotta fill me in on what happened at the temple. What happened? What did you see? Sounds like we need more data to me. Then what happened? I heard you did some stuff and then you changed. Uh-huh. Hold up a second. You encountered advanced technology that altered your biology in a way that results in... In what? Superpowers? Fair enough. Maybe we can run some tests later. Anyway, thanks for filling me in on the temple and your power. I wonder if we can find any more traces of whoever built them. It just opens up a world of questions. It's so exciting. Hey, Dusty. If you're ever thinking to yourself, I could really listen to Barrett's dulcet voice right now. Then instead of dreaming about me, stop by and say hello. okay?
These 15-hour shifts are killing me.
Got any? Anything you need to offload? Trade Authority is always by. Kiosk right here for you.
How is Neon? Are you okay? Okay. I'll start transferring the data over now. Let me just bring it up on here at the table. Is that a prototype? No, that material isn't anything we... What the... Everyone, come take a look at this.
That's no faction vessel or Crimson Fleet. Secret military tech, maybe?
No United Colonies Admiral approved that starship design.
They call themselves the Starborn. Demanded we hand over the artifact. Like we were children, playing with their parents' things.
What do people know? Any offshoot groups go by that name?
None in any corner of the settled systems I've seen. Maybe a distant human colony finally popping its head up. Another house for Rune.
I very much doubt that.
We ignoring the obvious here? A heretofore unknown group who just happens to know about the artifacts. I'm just gonna say it. Intelligent alien life, or extra-dimensional beings. The original creators from the furthest fringes of space.
Or beyond even that. Is the metaphor of avenging angels coming down to keep humanity from forbidden knowledge not apt here?
So, we have a lot of theories, but nothing concrete. Except that they're after the artifacts, and they're willing to take them by force.
You do have a way with words.
I knew our little family was gaining a class act when I shoved that artifact in your hands.
Some glints of shine in the dark. Ready to hand them out as soon as you please.
Discuss with you.
Hey. Captain, can I talk with you for a bit? I'm all ears. Well, if it isn't our own Ranger. I hope you're not taking the job permanently. A badge is just a symbol, a promise, a hope. You don't have to wear the object to be true to those goals. Anyway, I'm just glad Ron Hope is gone. Maybe he could have been rehabilitated. Maybe. But I just can't see that happening. And even if so, He couldn't remain in power over those people. Not after all that blood. It was a hard choice that you made, but I'm proud of you, Captain. Dusty. Dusty! Let's talk. I've been meaning to thank you for helping me with the Crimson Fleet before. I could have handled it myself, of course, but it's good working with a team. It's good to be part of a team, isn't it? To be part of something so much bigger than any one of us. So many things can go wrong out there. Working with people you can trust is important. That's why I've been in Constellation so long. It's good to have people who will help out when you're in a jam. Just wait till we get matching shirts and start having official cookie days. They're one of humanity's greatest achievements. Modern medicine, space travel, and cookies. Constellation is quite pro-cookie. Because, you see, we value human accomplishments. Speaking of which, I'm glad you joined Constellation. Just figured I'd mention it, since we haven't had much time to chat before. You know, being a member of Constellation has given me a lot of opportunities, and a fair bit of stress, I'll admit. It's hard to imagine just who I'd be had I never joined up. I would have never done so many things, met so many people. It's mind-boggling how different I would be. And I never would have met Irvin. Or lost him, I suppose. That's right. We can't know the consequences of the choices we never made, and anything beyond that is imagination alone. But for the choices we made, it feels just a bit closer, doesn't it? Irvin's been gone for over 20 years. Strange how memories can pop up when you least expect it. Oh, I've been giving myself nothing but space and time for years. But maybe it's time for me to really think about it. Well, maybe I'll take you up on that offer later on, Captain. I need some time to think about things. On that note, I think I'd do well to distract myself with a little adventure for a bit.
I was just gonna do some scans, and I was just
Someone you'd like to discuss.
thing.
I would love to help you, but I'm going to need just a bit more information.
Oh, come on. You know what I mean, right? The thing. The one that has the...
You had a hell of a shake, getting bullied in the void. Starborn sure know how to make an entrance.
No.
Ready to head back out there? The Eye can help you find the artifacts, but I'm afraid she's blind to our new competitor. Double-check the safety and locks wherever you go, okay? Exploration's dangerous, even without some nefarious group trying to kill you.
Yes? Ron Hope was a real piece of work, wasn't he? Despicable is too kind a word. He held innocent people with little regard, treating their lives like numbers on a balance sheet. It's an absolute disgrace. I'm relieved to hear you say that. Letting him off the hook would have been a terrible injustice. while that's true, it certainly doesn't excuse the blood that he has on his hands. No, it certainly isn't. Especially when it comes at the expense of human lives. Well, I think I've lectured you enough. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me. We should have a talk, when you have the time, of course. Remember our last conversation, when you told me the artifacts made you feel like raw energy was coursing through your veins? Well, it got me thinking. So I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described, doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor. Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back. Ah, she absolutely was. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege. Hey. So I pinched a few ideas from my old boss. Can you blame me? At any rate, we logged quite a few discoveries together, but it was the actual journey that I cherished the most. Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend, while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly. No, she retired. Living on Porima 2 now, I think. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions. Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. Just be yourself. You see, it's clear that we share the same hunger to discover what's out there. And that, well, that's what intrigues me about you. Good. Then we're both on the same page. Anyway, that's all I had to discuss for now, so if you'd point the way, we can continue our journey. When you
Sam, have you considered what kind of
I'd like
combat
to
training your
discuss.
daughter might require?
No, because she's 12.
She could make a very skilled fighter. The sooner she begins learning...
I wanted to talk to you, but honestly, I don't know where to begin. The Starborn's technology is simply astonishing. It's just almost too much to process. Of course not. No one has. If an encounter with this level of importance had occurred in the past, I assure you that Constellation would be well acquainted with it. Yes, I suppose I am. But you can hardly blame me, can you? You do understand the significance of this encounter, don't you? This is humankind's first contact with what I believe is an alien race. A race with technology that could be far superior to our own. Oh, we could learn so much from them. That's what disturbs me. Can't be a coincidence that these Starborn suddenly appeared after your experience at that temple. We know they're here to lay claim to the artifacts, but what's their true motivation? What aren't they telling us? It's very disturbing, especially with all of that cutting-edge technology at their disposal. Damn. Oh, if only we knew more about the Starborn. What their species is like, where they're from, how they're able to speak our language. I feel like a cadet on my very first day aboard a spaceship. My mind is absolutely swimming with questions. Obviously. But there has to be more to these beings than simply originating from another world. Their name alone, Starborn. There's some type of hidden meaning there. Something that feels very old, perhaps even ancient. Whatever the case may be, I can assure you that Constellation intends to get to the bottom of this mystery. Exactly. We must use all of the tools at our disposal to learn more about the Starborn and their connection to the artifacts. I certainly hope so. You know, it's funny. When I was a little girl, I'd lay on the ground and stare up at the stars. I was absolutely convinced they held a secret. I'd remain there for hours in silence, eyes closed, listening, waiting for the secret to be whispered in my ear. This encounter with the Starborn is that moment to me. The stars are finally whispering, and I need to hear what they have to say. I knew I could count on your support. Well then, I've certainly wasted enough of your valuable time. Just do be careful if you cross paths with these Starborn in the future. I wouldn't want to lose one of the most valuable members of Constellation.
Sarah, Miss Perfect Morgan.
I have
Swear she must
something
have
I
radar.
need to discuss with you.
What do you mean?
Every single time I make a mistake, before I can say she's there, and very politely, ever so patiently, telling me I made a mistake. You know what I mean?
imagined to encounter something like the Starborn. Now I feel that rather than having answers, we only have more questions. I suppose this proves that idea succinctly. Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before now, I must say that I do not like being threatened by anyone. I agree we should keep looking for answers, but clearly we must be cautious. Clearly the Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that they are also connected to that temple you found. Did they make these things? Have they appropriated them? This all implies there is something more, something we do not yet understand. Yes. Given our first interaction with them, that seems likely. We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much about us. Perhaps we can learn more about them to make it even. We should return to our search then. There's still so much to do.
When you get a moment, could we talk? You know, traveling with you has been something else. But the best part is when we're charting course for the next jump. I never feel at home planetside. How about you? Well, how non-committal of you. See, the people I don't get are the ones who never go anywhere. They stay in their own hometown, they just live and die there. There's a whole galaxy full of wonder and things you could never imagine. How can they be satisfied with one tiny sliver of it? I mean, you're right, but I think everyone should at least get out once. And go someplace, meet people. Get out of your comfort zone so you can really see that the worlds are more than just little issues and bickering. There's a mess of ugly out there, but my God, there's grandeur, too. Space. That great void. That's the stuff for me. I want to be the code that finds something deep out there. Solomon got us here in a big way. I'd like to discover something that moves people. Makes them feel just a bit of what I feel when I jump systems. And not knowing what's next. Always keep them guessing. You know, it's funny, as much as Jacob, my dad, cashes in on the family name, he's got no adventure in him. And I get it. It's dangerous, sometimes scary out there. But that's what exploration is. Going off the map and seeing if there truly be dragons. I couldn't ask for better company. You got time for a quick chat? I'd appreciate it when you're able.
Everything checks out. Ending initiative.
I got some stuff on my mind when you have the time. Late at night in dive bars, sometimes the old-timers share stories about things they've seen that they just couldn't explain. Ghost stories, if you will. I've heard of things like the Starborn before. But they're real. Honest to God, real. I genuinely considered mass hysteria, but the sensor logs confirm it. It's real. So the obvious question is, what the hell are they? Everyone's gonna be thinking aliens, but maybe not. Their ships were incredible, but they still felt like ships. They had engines, weapons, I think I even made out a grav drive. If they were really alien, I would just expect it to be more alien, you know? I mean, it could be some secret Freestar Varun or UC tech, but I don't know. Anybody that says they know for sure are lying. I'm gonna throw out another wild stab in the dark theory. Maybe they're from outside our known systems. Here's the hypothetical. Centuries ago, some brainiac scientists decide to play settler. But they go way, way beyond any place we've ever been to set up stakes. Once they get there, they make a few lucky breakthroughs, and their science just snowballs from there. I can see them getting further, faster, and hence become the Starborn. If I got it right, then you owe me a steak dinner. One way or the other, we are not alone. And that's both exciting and terrifying.
Nothing like hitting orbit.
Parcel freighter to unknown vessel. I have an urgent package, hoping for some assistance. Acknowledge? The Star Parcel's fleet's got a load of these aging Deimos monsters. Built like tanks, but well past their warranty. It's gonna take hours to fix this, if we can get the engine back online at all. $30 years ago, this ship would be a beast. Maybe more like 50. I got a hot package that's paid for expedited delivery. They'll dock my pay if it doesn't get to its destination. Star Parcel will reward you well if you can assist. Excellent. All you need to do is drop this off to the ship services technician on Neon. They'll take it from there. Thanks for bailing me out of this nightmare.
You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple landings. They'll cause plenty of havoc if left unchecked. You the courier? I've been expecting you. Star Parcel has your payment right here. Anything else you need? Nothing for us to do. You're in good flying condition.
Landing site's clear. All green.